And the very latest from battleground Bihar, because today finally the curtains came down on polling. The second phase of polling got over. Bihar overall turnout stands now at a whopping 66.91%. And the big news is that women again have trumped the men in terms of turning up, making their voice heard. The women's turnout, the voter turnout among women is 71.6%, and the male turnout stands at 62.8%. This is the highest women's voter turnout in the history of Bihar. And yes, everyone is going to put a caveat and say this is a result of SIR, the special intensive revision, where the overall number of voters has come down. But even discounting that, this is huge. And why? Let's go across to Prashant for more on this. How do you decipher the kind of numbers that we are seeing? 71.6% among women, 62.8% among men, and several such districts, Prashant, that are seeing an all-time high in terms of these numbers.
That's right, Padmaja. You rightly said that after SIR, it was expected that the voter turnout will increase. But it was only expected to be increased by 3 to 4%. But the additional 7 to 8% increase is a whopping number. I would like to read out some. I would like to put up some figures that the difference between male voters and women voters participating in this election is around 9%, which is huge given the fact that in most of the elections, women participation has been less in number so far as Bihar is concerned. But one thing is also very significant is the fact that after Nitish Kumar came to power in 2005, the first election took place in 2010, and 2010 election onwards, if you see the data, in all the elections, women participation has been more than their male counterparts. So this is nothing new. So this shows that women voters are the strength of, has become the strength of Nitish Kumar, be it giving free bicycles to the girls in his first tenure, then giving 50% reservation to the women in panchayat and local body, in all the local bodies. Then this time we have seen how women have been voting in favor of Nitish Kumar, according to most of the exit polls, given the fact that 10,000 rupees have been given to all the women as an incentive to employment. So this has been the strength of Nitish Kumar, and it has been the women voters who has become the backbone of Nitish Kumar so far as Bihar elections are concerned.
All right, Prashant, thanks very much for joining us with that quick update. Women, as always in Bihar, are the biggest newsmakers, not the netas, not the mantris, not even the chief minister. It is the women who are the CM, or as Tejasvi Yadav calls them, change makers. But what are the exit polls saying? What are the numbers telling us today? Let's give you the poll of polls and also some of the numbers that individually are being put out by various agencies. According to the numbers that we have so far, the Matrize poll gives NDA a 48% vote share and the Mahagathbandhan at 37%. Jan Suraj has come up with a pretty respectable 5% and others are at 10%. What is the Matrize's prediction in terms of seats? For those who are uninitiated, of course, 243 is the overall number of seats, 122 is the majority mark, and the NDA here clearly far ahead in terms of vote percentage. Let's take a look at the next set of numbers. What is Matrize giving here? 46.2% is People's Pulse, 46.2% vote share, 37.9% by the Mahagathbandhan, and Jan Suraj being given even higher vote share here by People's Pulse standing at 9.7%. Let's quickly go through all of these numbers so that we can finally come to the poll of polls. What is the next set of numbers that we have here? The poll of polls gives NDA. Here are the seats that have shown up. Matrize gives them 147 to 167, People's Pulse at 133 to 159. The JVC poll is at 135 to 150, and Chanakya Strategies is roughly in the same region as well. Dainik Bhaskar gives it 145 to 160, whereas the Mahagathbandhan stands at 73 to 91. Let's open this up. Joining us now are Ajit Kumar Jha, consulting editor of NDTV. We also have Professor Badri Narayan, political commentator and author, and Jay Mrugh, psephologist, here with us. Jay, I want to ask you first, which one of them do you find the most believable? Is it close to your own estimate? Because if I was to do a rough back of the envelope calculation, all of them together would give about 145 to the NDA and roughly 80 to the Mahagathbandhan. Do you agree with these numbers, Jay?
Let us look at the consolidated alliance-wise vote shares of the 2020 elections as per the 2025 alliances. That comes up to something like 43% for the NDA and 39% for the MGB. So even if you go by very standard psephology, it should produce a seat share of 150 to 160 for the NDA and a tally of 70 to 90 for the MGB. So I think this is more or less in line. Now, where is the deviation? The little deviation we have is in that momentum that the JDU has acquired, where even in states like Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, the NDA vote shares started touching 48-49, which is what is happening here too. They are touching numbers like, here you go, 48%, right? So that is providing a little more acceleration to the number of seats of the JDU. But if you look at the conservative estimates, which are like 139, 135, they are more or less in line with the 2020 vote shares adjusted for the 2025 alliance.
So essentially you would say that the NDA, Professor Badri Narayan, has held its ground, and it is actually the Mahagathbandhan which has lost space, perhaps to the Jan Swaraj and to AIMIM and other smaller parties.
Yeah, we can say like this, that some of the votes of the Mahagathbandhan may go to there. But you know, already the alliance of social alliance of the NDA is bigger than Mahagathbandhan. You see the caste alliance, no? Dusats, Musahas.
So you would say that this time they did a far better seat sharing arrangement.
Yes, it's
the Mahagathbandhan couldn't get their act together, but the NDA right at the outset, many people, Ajit ji, said Chirag Paswan ko aap 39 seats क्यों दे रहे हो? 29 seats क्यों दे रहे हो? They are not going to be able to win it. But actually, if you were to do a conversion of the Lok Sabha seats, they have a 100% strike rate in the Lok Sabha, and it actually converted to just about 29 seats. Do you think Chirag Paswan also will be able to pull his weight in this election, and that explains some of these numbers we see on the board? Ajit ji.
You know, if we look at the exit poll, I think we should just stick to the general picture. Why? Because exit polls are only correct when it comes to general picture in terms of percentage vote, not the number of seats. Because we don't have any algorithm in an exit poll which shows us the prediction of number of seats. So let's look at the percentage vote share. 11% NDA has more this time than Mahagathbandhan. We just have
and
1%
last time it was 0.2 or 0.02.
0.3. So that means there is a positive swing of around 11% in favor of an incumbent after 20 years.
Why?
Which means that two reasons, I would say. It's basically a Nitish Kumar sympathy wave. You know, the earlier waves were what the media was pointing out, Prashant Kishore, to some extent, the voter Adhikar rally. But there was a late wave in favor of Nitish Kumar, largely brought about by the women's vote.
Okay. Professor Badri Narayan, quick word from.
I agree what Ajit ji is saying. The trust value of Nitish Kumar with sympathy. So this is Nitish wave in one.
नीतीश ही ठीक है.
Nitish ही ठीक है.
जैसे हैं हमारे हैं, टेढ़े हैं पर मेरे हैं.
Secondly, the number of beneficiaries has grown a lot. Like before 5 years, the number was different, less. In 5 years, the number grown, and they all came in the purview of the vote of the NDA. We have 3 crores, more than 3 crores Jan Dhan beneficiaries.
Yes.
More than 150 crores of each and every beneficiary. So they work as a base vote for the NDA.
Okay, so 10,000
and it worked beyond caste, it worked beyond community. That's the big thing.
So 10,000 vote, 10,000 scheme is one of them, plus others like graduation, the amount that young girls get on graduating.
Pension,
of course,
DBT, pension Yojana,
pension has been increased.
Ujjwala Yojana,
Ujjwala. getting free electricity, Jay.
And don't forget prohibition.
Prohibition, of course.
And there is a larger point, put all the schemes together. Let's draw a parallel between two elections. The Maharashtra Lok Sabha and Maharashtra Assembly, punctuated with the women dole in between. This election with a women dole in between. Maharashtra's vote share of 49. Here, a projected vote share of 48. In Maharashtra, a narrative of Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai being effectively neutralized with a gender-based dole. Here also, a similar narrative being almost, if these polls are right, being neutralized with a gender-based dole. I think what the Congress would also need to think out is, does it need to evolve its playbook beyond Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai? Because
I have to say though,
what a counter.
I have to say though that Tejasvi Yadav did come up exactly with the same narrative when he said that my behan yojana hai, मैं 30,000 रुपए दे दूंगा, मैं मकर संक्रांति पे ही आपको पैसे दे दूंगा, पेंशन में और भी बढ़ा करके दूंगा. But is there an exaggeration of these doles, these so-called doles, or the Rozgar Yojana? Is there another narrative that is far stronger in women's mind? We will perhaps know after the 14th of November. But if we are looking at the record turnout, how much of a factor is that at play as well? Here the gender breakup. And this is what everyone has been talking about, 66.8%. Like I was saying, Ajit Jha, yes, you have got the women beneficiaries, but has the Jungle Raj narrative really stuck? Where people still have an institutional memory, they're almost scarred by what they saw over 15 years, and even 20 years hasn't been enough to wipe out those scars. Ajit Jha.
Just compare Nitish Ji with Tejasvi, the two principal rivals in this election, right? One is a 75-year-old man who people think may not be in the prime of his health.
But he's educated.
And he's an engineer. He's a topper of his batch from Bihar College of Engineering. He came out of the JP movement like Lalu Yadav and Sushil Modi. And he's been there. His caste vote is 2.49%. And in a state where people say everything is explained by caste, he's been the chief minister.
But he has the 36% of the EBCs with him as well. And most importantly, this other caste of women. And like I said earlier as well, people keep talking about, this 10,000 rupees. But women, when you speak to them, one word I heard again and again was risk. Risk नहीं ले सकते हम 20 साल से थोड़ा चैन से जी रहे हैं प्रोफेसर बद्री नारायण, हम रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहते.
बस ये बहुत अच्छी बात कही आपने. एक्चुअली यही सबसे बड़ी बात है कि दे हैव नॉट इवॉल्व ट्रस्ट फॉर द तेजस्वी, और जो है वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहते, क्योंकि एटलीस्ट ये तो बचा हुआ है. यानी नीतीश ने जो दिया और जो दे रहा है, एटलीस्ट दे डोंट वांट टू लीव दैट बिकॉज दे हैव नो ट्रस्ट फॉर द तेजस्वी proposals, but they have a big trust on Nitish, so they don't want to leave that trust.
Why hasn't the Mahagठबंधन been able to evoke the kind of trust? You've got two young men, they are saying we've left the burden past behind. Tejasvi went so far as to even erase Lalu Prasad completely from all the posters. Then why is there still a trust deficit, especially between women?
I would say lack of hard work in the interlude. See, after 2020 election, when I think the actual margin that separated the two fronts was exactly 11,150 votes. If you look at Mr. Prashant Kishore, as Jhaji rightly pointed out, he was working on the ground for the last 3 years. That has not been the case with Mr. Tejasvi Yadav for a full 5-year period, nor the case with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So, in a sense, the credibility to position yourself as the alternative has been missed. More so,
because we also have to remember that among the women that we are talking about is also a large number of Gen Z women. Young voters in the age bracket of 18 to 25 form almost about 22 to 25% of the voters in this election. So the Gen Z voters you could have attracted, but you couldn't.
This is an aspirational vote, what you're pointing out. And who are they going to vote? For a dynast. What is Tejasvi other than being the son of Lalu Prasad Yadav? He is, as Prashant Kishore.
So they prefer a 75-year-old Nitish Kumar to a young 36-year-old Tejasvi Yadav.
Trust him. For 20 years, he's done more than 24 programs, welfare initiatives for women. He's done it, number one. Number two, double engine sarkar hai na, the center will give money. If Tejaswi comes, will the NDA government give any support to Bihar? No. In fact, they all know that Modi ji, after 2024 elections, needs Nitish to form the majority government.
Okay.
So Nitish is pivotal for Bihar, Tejaswi is not.
रिस्क अवर्स और एक भरोसा है, an element of trust. Professor साहब.
Yeah, एक चीज और मैं I would like to add. You know, you rightly said about the Gen-Z girls, no, women. From where Nitish started to entering in women mind, education, cycle poshak, and he provided access to the women, young girls to go to the school.
And those young girls are now young women, many of them mothers.
Yeah, mothers.
And all of them voters.
Women. So the today Gen-Z girls are seeing those time as icons for them, for inspiration for them. So they have a lot of trust on the past of the Nitish Kumar, which has started from 2006. But these two leaders, Rahul Gandhi and the Tejaswi, they have not yet performed for them, so they don't have a trust.
Boss, you know, if you've got your entire narrative built on trying to tell Gen Z to come out and hit the streets and Gen Z is not voting for you, you have a serious problem brewing. You know, we'll also in the next few hours and days leading up to the 14th of November, try and give you a more granular breakup of what these exit polls say about the age brackets. Who are the younger people? Who are the different castes? Who are the different economic groups looking at when they speak of trust? Who do they really trust with their vote? As of right now, these are the numbers that we have after the last vote has been polled in Bihar. 2 phases, very hard fought elections for a lot of people and parties. This is a question of do or die. It could be seminal in deciding which way politics goes in Bihar for the time being. Thank you very much, all gentlemen and viewers, for joining me. When it comes to elections, when it comes to politics also, the buck stops here. Thanks for watching.